Yeah, I mean, I go back a couple of weeks. I forget who they were playing, but I think they were winning Manchester United, and
Mm.
then Amirin made some substitutions when they were
Uh,
winning. They took him off and another defender, and it was towards the end of the game, I think, but still
mm.
some time to go, 20 minutes, 25, whatever.
Yeah.
And I could see in when he went off, I could see in Maguire's face he was annoyed about being taken off. But I,
Mm.
I actually remember saying at the time, that looks to me that's a possible mistake because your defence was functioning well, the team was. Now I'm a great believer in using the squad to bring on fresh legs and all that. But if you're
Mm.
winning the game, you don't really want to tamper with the way your defence is playing unless someone's got an injury or they're struggling a bit tired and stuff. And I just felt in that particular game he should not have been taken off. Now the other day, as you say, is he the sort of player that you would bring on? Yeah, I think he is,
Mm.
because whatever else he is, I think he's quite a solid central defender. He plays for England or has played for England as well. He's
Mm.
very good at the heading goals. Let's face it, he does do that as a matter of course. So,
Mm.
and he knows where the goal is. He knows when to go up. So again, really, for someone who's played regularly for England, I think he's had his ups and downs at United. I think
Mm.
Amorim he changes his mind once in a while, and he won't always start him. But yeah, I think he's a useful guy to have in the squad
Mm.
to bring on. If you've got an injury at the back or you need some bolstering of the defence, bring him
Mm.
on there because he can also score a goal for you, which is an added bonus that a
It
central
is.
defender can add.
It
But
is.
yeah, I think possibly he's seen his best days. He's not as young as he used to be, so he's obviously basically enjoying life
Mm.
in the Premier League with all the benefits and bonuses and excellence about being a Premier League footballer. Good luck. You've got to maximise it because, as they often say, a footballer's life is not necessarily a long life. It can be longer sometimes than we let them say because you can
Mm.
be a top footballer for 10, 12 years if you look after yourself. So and they earn a lot of money in that time, particularly the top players, the Premier League
Mm.
players. So yeah, I don't think maybe he does have ambitions. I suppose players in his position will think if I get offered a spell in Saudi, I'll take it because of the money that comes their way. But
Yeah.
yeah, for the moment, I reckon his philosophy is no. I'll come on as a sub. I'll start when I'm wanted. I'll
Yeah.
enjoy the game. You could see when he scored that goal on Sunday, the way he went over to the fans, the Manchester United fans, and he was
Mm.
sort of banging his heart and the badge. It was almost a lot of. I sensed a lot of almost anger or frustration coming out. You could see it
Mm.
in his face, whereby he probably feels he's been unfairly criticised along the way by fans and club alike. And he was saying, "Look, I love this club, I love this game, and I can score goals for you." And it was just that it's nice for someone, a player who has had criticism, to be able to get that opportunity to then say, "Yeah, I can still do this. I can win
Yeah.
games for us," which he did. So yeah,
Yeah.
I admire the bloke. I think he's a good footballer,
Yeah.
and he's been a good servant to Manchester United, very
He
much so.
has. He has. And there's been no controversy coming from his quarters anyway. So I like
No,
him. I like him. I like him. Right. So the next one that we're going to go down to is quite an unusual one, Danny Welbeck. Now he's I don't know if you've seen his games lately. The one he scored two goals in the last game
yeah,
for Brighton, and there's been calls in certain quarters for him to calls in certain quarters for him to get a place on Thomas Tuchel's squad. Do you think he's at that stage yet?
I'm not even sure how old Danny Welbeck is. He seems to have been around a long time, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And he clearly is a very good striker. As you say, he scored a couple of goals the other day and Brighton won the game.
Mm,
Um, I would have a feeling that, and I would say any England manager, particularly a new one as Tuchel is, he's got the choice of a lot of players to put in the team. I feel, as we've said before, that maybe he's gone for one or two players who might be viewed as a backward step, not in criticism of those players, people like Jordan Henderson, for example,
mm,
or Marcus Rashford because of his checkered past. But in Henderson's case, again, a very good footballer, a very good captain at Liverpool in his day. He went to Saudi and didn't quite work out, and he's come back. I don't feel it's necessarily a forward step to have him with the
mm,
World Cup coming up next June and July. Someone who possibly wouldn't be starting the games. I wouldn't have thought he may be there as an impact sub, but I would have thought, there's others around who are younger and maybe fitter as a result. So, in a sense, I feel a bit like that about Welbeck. Now, if bottom line, if a manager says, well, whatever his age, whatever he's done in the past, if he's scoring goals, I want him in the team, and you can understand that philosophy because you don't get too many players around who got the ability of even people like Gary Lineker. He had a great instinct for being in the right place for the goal. We see Erling Haaland, brilliant again, a lovely goal again he scored last night for Manchester City. So there's not too many players who've got that. We think that JP Mateta's getting there. He scored for France on his debut for France last week. He scored a hat-trick at the weekend, but could have had 5 or 6 goals because he did miss 2 or 3 as well. So there are players, but most teams are searching and looking for that striker, that quality of striker that will guarantee you, dare we say, 20 goals a season. Well, there used to be strikers like that. Maybe the game was slightly different then, I don't know. But
mm,
that's the sort of people teams are looking for. And
mm,
they're a hard species to come by. Brilliant goal scorers. Now,
mm,
clearly, Welbeck has got something of that about him, but I'm not sure he's as quick as he used to be. I don't think it would be a positive step
mm,
to have him in the England team, and there's no disrespect intended there at all.
mm. Okay, thank you. Right. So we're gonna, as we prepare to go into the second segment,
Yeah,
we're gonna talk about Arsene Wenger, about something that is proposed about offside rules, VAR, and they're considering it now for some reason. We're also going to talk about Crystal Palace, Mateta.
yeah,
Right,
yeah.
yeah.
Good.
So join us in the second segment. There's loads more to come. See you in a bit.
See you in a minute.